Hey everybody, it's Fig Corner 2000. I just got back from the Chicago Toy Show. I bought a couple of new action figures. I'm really excited to show it to you guys, but first let's get this pair of gloves on. Okay, now with the gloves on, let's get to the box behind this bag. To start off with, I got this McFarlane 2-pack, Superman vs. Superman of Earth 3. I finally am going to get myself a real Superman figure. I'm excited to put him on the shelf instead of that Christopher Reeves back there. I can't wait to have an actual comic accurate version, and a bonus is that this is Ultraman right here, so that it's two figures done right there. If anybody knows what this is, please drop that in the comments. I'm also stoked for all these hands. Can't wait to open this one up. This next figure is Dark Flash. I cannot wait to expand my Flash collection, and this is a good start other than the Flash that I have over there. I can't wait to get this out of the box, and this is the one I'm going to be unboxing today in this video, so stay here for that. Okay, and the last figure I got is this beautiful Mafex Steel Superman Returns Edition. This is my second Mafex. I am really excited to put this along with Superman Returns, Superman Black Suit. This was $95 originally at Chicago Toy Show, and I was able to get it down to $65, so this was sort of a steal. I'm really hoping this is going to look good on the shelf. Now let's move on to the actual unboxing today, this McFarlane Multiverses Dark Flash. Before we open this, let's look at the artwork on the box. There's McFarlane Platinum Edition right here, typical logos right here, DC logo. On this side it just says Dark Flash, and then there's this QR code for DC Universe Infinite. On the back there is this really nice artwork which shows a couple different things. There is the Joker right here, Dark Flash of course, and then Batman back here, I'm pretty sure. To this being an alternate universe where basically everything goes wrong and the timeline is corrupted. That's why every single one of these hero and some of these villains are the way they are. On this side it just says Dark Flash right here, and this box is pretty basic, so let's get it open. Per usual, there is this second part on the right with the stand and the card. So while I get this figure out of its case and this card and the stand out, I'm going to give a little backstory on the Dark Flash. Dark Flash is Walter West, an alternate timeline Wally West, who failed to save Cobra from killing his wife, Linda Park. He fell into grieving and eventually realized that he can be the Flash, but he became a more brutal version of Wally West. He kills villains to prevent them from harming anybody again. Unfortunately, Linda Park never did come back to life, and he realized his presence on Earth Prime was just hurting it more than it was helping it and causing multiversal issues. He eventually left to find his own place in the multiverse. The Black Flash and Dark Flash are commonly confused, but Black Flash is actually just the Grim Reaper of speedsters. He basically comes when it's their time to die. And at one point he did come after Wally West, and Wally West ran to the end of existence, where death ceases to exist, and that's how he evaded him and temporarily disabled Black Flash. Black Flash is not actually a human or a entity of any sort. He is a sort of an idea. The Grim Reaper is not an actual human. It's just something that can sort of possess a human and then use that human's power to basically kill people or take them to their final resting place. There's not necessarily anything else for me to talk about at this point regarding Dark Flash, so I'm going to go ahead and speed this video up, and then I'm going to get it to a review and some articulation. With the figure out of the box, let's get to the review. He comes with only one pair of hands, this open hand right here, and then three different heads. One, he's sort of gritting his teeth maybe, I'm not quite sure. Another one, he looks like he could be angry, also still gritting his teeth. And then one on his head already, he is screaming. I have to say, out of the box, this is a weird, scary figure, and McFarlane achieved that look of just eeriness and a overall creepiness quite well. The weird, mangled flesh on the body is a nice touch, and the fingers show and are very creepy as well. The actual body and the plastic that is used, it feels a little different. It's not smooth, and it's sort of coarse. And then you can tell that the yellow parts just look rough as well, to sort of exaggerate the look that he has going on through time traveling, through multiverses, and all the things that have went wrong. This also comes with a stand, which I'm using right now, and then of course this collector's card right here. So let's do this card. On the front there is the same artwork there is on the box. On the back here, there's not much to talk about. It doesn't actually describe the figure. It describes the comic it's from, which is a little confusing. To sum it up, the Darkest Night is after Wally West and his Dr. Manhattan powers, but Wally has backup in the form of Barry Allen, Jay Garrick, and Wallace West. It is basically a race through the wastelands as the Flash only tries to stay steps ahead of the Darkest Knight and his Lightning Knights. So, interesting story there. Let's move on to articulation. The figure can only look up this much without using any torso movement, but can look down this much, which is very interesting. The torso is very nice. It goes all the way up to here, which is, it's sort of weird with McFarlane. Like, why can this figure do this, but that Superman back there can't when he flies and this one runs? Overall, weird quality control there from McFarlane. There is butterfly shoulders as well. Butterfly joint here, and the shoulder goes up all the way to here, which is sort of nice. Without the torso movement at all, it really only goes to like here. There is a bicep cut right here as well. Forearm and bicep move up like this. Very nicely, actually. No stiffness really out of the box. The shoulder does swivel around like this, and then there is that wrist movement right here as well with that weird McFarlane joint. Same can be said about the other arm. The hip goes up all the way out to here, which is sort of surprising for McFarlane as well. It then goes up to here, which is nice, and then it goes back quite a bit. This diaper piece right here lets the legs move a lot, way freer than the Marvel Legends do. The knee joint moves all the way like this, and then there is that foot movement right here, and then that toe movement as well. With articulation being done, let's move on to posing this figure. For this first pose, I've got him as if he's chasing something, and I am pleasantly surprised that he can actually hold this pose alone, because these foot joints right here have been pretty loose. Let's get him into one more pose. For my final pose, we've got him kneeling on the ground, screaming. Not yet sure why he would be screaming, but I think this looks really cool and is an interesting thing to think about when posing this figure. Overall, this figure is okay. It's a decent McFarlane. I think I'd give it maybe a 8 out of 10, maybe a 7.5 out of 10. But other than that, I do like the figure. The joints are a little loose right now, but I have no worries because McFarlane has not let me down yet with breakage, so I think it's going to be alright. I recommend picking up this figure if you want to get the Dark Flash, or you just get Black Flash from Reveltech, but I didn't have the money for that, so I went with this. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.